Hi everybody, thank you for tuning in to Wanda's Treasures. It has been a long minute before I've checked in and I'm so sorry, so sorry. It's a crazy day here. Yep, crazy hair day. It's Sunday, May 2nd. I wanted to touch in for a few things. I know the last time I did a video was at the beginning of the year, and I'm truly sorry that I haven't been back on. I've had a lot of stuff going on in my world. Some of you all know me personally. Blooper. Oh yeah. By the way, I don't edit. I don't know how yet. I'm gonna learn. That's one of my bucket lists this year to do, is try to learn how to do editing. But I have other things that take precedence than learning how to edit. So you get bloopers, and sometimes I laugh at my own bloopers. So hey, it is what it is. Those who know me personally and know what's been going on in my realm will understand why I haven't been on this YouTube channel. On January 29th, my husband Patrick had open heart surgery. He had a 5.2, almost 5.3 centimeter aortic aneurysm in his heart valve. This is your heart. This is the blue valve, the first red valve. This one right here, the middle finger, would be up on the heart. That's where he had the aortic aneurysm. Can't say that, sorry. Which should have been a 3 to 5 hour surgery. He was in there just a few minutes shy of 8 hours. I sat down at St. Bernardine's Hospital in San Bernardino with my mother-in-law. It was the day that it was pouring rain, and it snowed, and it was hailing like ice chunks. It was horrible weather. And we sat, because of COVID, we couldn't be in the hospital in the waiting room, so we sat there in the car all day long. I was not going to leave the hospital. And my husband knew that his mother and I were going to be in that parking structure all day until I found out he was out of surgery and back into recovery, and onto his room. So we had talked about this. It'd be like 3 to 5 days maybe with him being in the hospital. And this is really the first time I'm really talking about it. On my Facebook, I've shed a little light here, there, and there. Patrick and I had talked about this prior to him going into surgery. Oh, by the way, let me back up a little bit. On January 23rd, my mother was here from San Luis Obispo visiting for her birthday. Usually I go up there for her birthday and for my birthday. But because Patrick was supposed to have surgery sometime in January, we weren't sure. It was supposed to be the first part of the month because the hospital shut down because of COVID. Then they opened it up. And on the Friday the 23rd, the hospital called us and said the hospital okay for the doctor to do 2 surgeries per week, and he said Patrick would be the first one if he chose to take it. Patrick said, let's do it, get it out of the way. Cool. So Patrick and I talked about this. When you come out, you might be in a medically induced coma for maybe a day or so, because they have to stop the heartbeat period, or the blood pumping through the heart, to do the valve. So fast forward. When the doctor did call me out after he got out of surgery, he said that when they opened him up, he is so glad that he chose to do this. Okay? Because the surgery was a week later. When they opened him up, he had a rip and a leak in the valve. If they would have waited 3 or 4 more days, he could have died here at home. He could have just died right here at home. I'm so grateful, and so all I could do is pray. I had such awesome prayer warriors. Thank you so much. And so he said he was okay. He was on his way to the recovery room. He would be in ICU for a few days, and then to a regular room, and then home. Not. So that night, I know if you have a loved one in the hospital, please, and I specify this, please, unless you get a call saying to call back, don't call them between 6:30 and 8:30, either a.m. or p.m. because they're trying to get their rounds done. They're trying to get the paperwork done. They're changing shifts. Give them that respect. If you want them to take care of your loved one, give them that respect. Unless they ask you to call back, do not call them. Do not disturb them. At any hospital, at, any nurse's station, So, I waited because I'm in the medical field. I'm a caregiver, so I just know. And so I called back probably about 9:30, 10. And I talked to a lady, and now just to let you know, the staff at St. Bernardine rock. They are so awesome. Except for this one lady, okay? My husband has never denied being a medical marijuana smoker. He has his card. It helps him with his anxiety. And he put it down there. And she said that when I asked how my husband was doing, she said he was combative when he was coming out of it. And they had to put him in a medically induced coma. She didn't tell me. Oh, first she started telling me because the substance he was detoxing off. I'm like, what are you talking about? I let her have her opinion. Anyway, come to find out, they started bringing him out of it. And, when you come out of, if you've ever had surgery, you don't know where the heck you're at. You're disoriented, and you're kind of stressed a little bit. Well, they started giving him a heparin drip, which is a blood thinner, to help him with his artery, his new valve. They had to give him a new valve. And the heparin, he's highly allergic to it. Don't cry. He flatlined. He coded. And by the grace of God, they brought him back. My dog's right here. She wants to be. Yes. So, that's Bella. I'm not knowing this. They're not telling me this. They didn't tell me until right before he told me. But they did save his life, and I'm very grateful for that. And they kept him in a medically induced coma for 18 days. They tried to wake him up one time, but he got a little combative, and then his blood pressure was off the charts. Whoop-de-whoop-de-woo. So they had to keep him sedated. And they said he was in a vegetable state. Okay? The pictures... So when I was able to call them, I would call and check on him 3 times a day. And I remember one time I called, and the nurse said, have you FaceTime? I'm like, how can I FaceTime? He's asleep. She goes, well, you could see him, maybe that'll use your mind. I'm like, she goes, do you have an Apple phone? I said, no. He has an Apple tablet and computer, but I don't mess with it. I'm Android. I said, ma'am, I said, if you can just go, and I said, don't laugh. I said, you can go into his Batman backpack. His phone is in there. It should be fully charged. It's turned off. If you could just turn it on, I will FaceTime you. And that's exactly what I did. And the pictures that I saw of my husband, of course, I cried because you never want to expect to see your loved one in that position, let alone condition. And he was so swollen, and they had tubes in him. And every day I called and I just prayed for him. I didn't call FaceTime every day. I'm not going to do that. Like every 3 or 4 days I would. Maybe every 3 days I think I FaceTimed. And they put the phone up to his ear, and I just prayed with him, and I talked to him. Only for about 5-10 minutes, and I told the nurses, I said, I will hang up when I'm done if you could just turn his phone off and put it back away. Bottom line is, on the 13th of February, they said they were going to try to start waking him up again, see if they can get his blood pressure under control. And a new medicine. And before then, what you don't know is they had called me. Whenever time the phone would ring and it said St. B's on there, I would just anxiety out the roof. And I go to bed at 7:30 at night, wake up at 10:30 just to call, and then go back to sleep for a couple hours just to call back about 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, or whatever, just to see if there was any change. And they've had to call and get permission to put a chest tube in him because he had got pneumonia, and he had fluid on his lungs. They probably took about 2 liters of fluid off of his lungs and another 1.5 liters out of his stomach. So they had to always get permission. And I told him, whatever you do, you have to do to save my husband. That's all I cared about. Save my husband, you know. So anyway, day after Valentine's. So on Valentine's Day, I made a little basket because I knew they were going to start waking him up. And I put some suckers in there because I knew his throat was going to be sore because, you know, he had the incubator tube in him and all this stuff and a card and all that stuff. Not much, just a little bit of stuff. And my mother-in-law and my sister-in-law Regina, my mother-in-law Marie, and myself, we made goodie baskets and took him up to the ward that he was in. And we also made a basket too. My mother-in-law made a big old box full of muffins, one for his unit and one for the COVID unit for the staff there, because like I said, they just rocked there. And coffee and tea and snacks. My sister-in-law did snacks and drinks, and they were so spoiled. And I bought him a coffee pot because I understood their coffee pot took out on him. So I got him a Keurig Duo, so he can do individual or a pot. So anyway, the day after Valentine's, I called and I talked to the nurse and I said how he's doing. I said, you know, I wanted to tell you because he had a feeding tube down in his stomach. And my neighbor's home, I can hear his hearty. A feeding tube, and I said, whatever sludge you're putting in him, I want you to know he has really bad stomach, IBS, really bad, and he's lactose intolerant. So, you know, he might be discomforted and he can't tell you, so just note that. So she goes, well, I asked him if he was in pain, and he said he wasn't. I'm like, whoa, 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 pump the brakes. I said, how is he telling you he's not in pain? He's unconscious. She goes, oh, we started waking him up this morning, or last night. Well, last night, early in the morning. And I asked him, he squeezed my hand, and he's moving his eyes a little bit, like, not like opening them, but you could see the movement. I said, sweetheart, would you be able to FaceTime so I can talk to him? She goes, I can. And she did, and best Valentine's gift I've ever gotten. And so I got to talk to my husband, and I could see him trying to move his lips, but his eyes were closed, and he could do this. So I only talked for a few minutes because I didn't want him to be exhausted, and I told him I loved him, and I prayed with him. And as soon as I got off the phone, I thanked God. And then I called his mom, and I told his mom that he's waking up. Best tears of joy. And then, sorry, because it seems like it was just yesterday. And then, so, little by little, he would open up his eyes, and there was a couple times his eyes were like, you could tell he was still sedated, but his eyes were open, and by the 4th day, I mean, he was able to prop up the phone and FaceTime me. His hands were still swollen, so he could just touch the phone, and so I told him, just whisper, don't try to talk, and just nod. I told him I wouldn't keep him long. I just wanted to see his face, and that's all it really needed, you know. And this was on the 15th of February is when he was completely, no, 16th he was completely awake. And there was a downfall. The heparin, when they stopped his heart and they started getting the blood flowing, the big toe, the grand toe on his right foot was dying, no circulation. So unfortunately, he had to have the top part of his toe amputated. I said, it's just a toe, I told him. I'd rather you lose your top of your toe than your whole life. And he's a big baby when I trim his toes. So as I said, look, it's one less toe I have to trim, you know. So he has good spirits, and he went through that really good, that surgery. But so anyway, I'm sorry, I'm jumping forward. So on March 4th, my honey got to come home. And see, they were going to send him to a SNF for rehabilitation. That's what I do for a living. Bring him home. I'll take care of him. And I did. And, you know, he fell twice. He lost his knees, his legs just gave out. Because, you know, he hadn't walked in like a month, you know. And so he got him walking, and then one day he just turned around, his legs gave out, and gashed his head. Now he's on blood thinners, and oh my gosh, it was scary because he didn't want to go to the hospital and get stitches because he has PTSD now because of the hospital, you know, being in there. So anyway, healed up good. I took care of him, stopped bleeding immediately. So now he's able to go back to the gym. So now that my honey's back on track, he can only, you know, he's still slow. He's so cute because he's got a scar from here to here. And he's like, he wants to show people his scar. He's like, I'm going to be like girls with cleavage. I'm showing my cleavage. You know, he's got good humor, which is good. You know, and I got him a shirt. Told him to order it. It says, I had open heart surgery and all I got was a stupid t-shirt. He just thinks that's funny. But, you know, serious. There's a lot of people in there that some didn't make it, you know, some did. So that's what's been going on, and now that, you know, I can actually leave for a few hours, you know, because I pretty much stayed home. I won't let him use a knife because I can't afford him to cut himself. His first 3 weeks home, I gave him a plastic knife because I didn't want him to cut himself. Because blood thinners, he could die, he could bleed out, and that's very, very, very important, if not him doing that, you know. So my husband and I are going to start doing some videos, and we did this, you know, it's funny, I forgot how to make ceviche, so I had to go watch, we made ceviche yesterday, and I had to go back and watch the video how he made it, so I can make it, and it's getting to be ceviche time, so we're going to be making it. So good, so good. And so anyway, I just want to let all my peoples out there in YouTube world, you know, thank you for sticking by me. For my family and friends that know the situation, thank you for checking in on me. Thank you for the beautiful prayers and the gifts and the cards. You know, I'm trying to reach back out to everyone. I have cards sitting here. I just got to get them out. I just got stamps. You know, yeah, people don't use stamps. And I want to be personal. I don't want to send it like a text. You know, I want it to be just as personal as it was when they brought it. You know, been through a whole bunch. And, you know, just another chapter in our life and our book. You know, I'm so sorry I forgot to say that. If this is your first time watching Wanda's Treasures, thank you. If you like what you see, subscribe. Smash that like button. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. And share. You know, my husband and I are going to start doing a lot more craft stuff and share. And you know, we might even do another channel because my husband and I became ordained last October 9th. And when I got ordained, you know, we did it before I got ordained. We like to go out and help the people in this valley. We call them our MVPs, you know, my vagabond people. And my sister, Retta, PW, program worker, she's here visiting from out of state. And she went with me the other day, and she helped me tremendously. It's the first time I've been able to feed my people. And since Patrick's been, I think I fed him one time right after Patrick went into the hospital, you know, because I didn't know he was going to go downhill before he came back uphill. And my mom was here, and we took out and made some meals and took them out and stuff. But we made 55 sack lunches the other day and handed them out. And I wish I would have made more because there was still more people to feed, and unfortunately I didn't have enough with me, and usually I have a lot with me, and I just didn't. And so now that my husband's back on track and he's able to get out and move around more, him and I are going to do that, but we want to do an MVP YouTube for my people. So there are people, but MVP sounds good, you know. And that way, if people want to connect with family ones, they can do a, you know, I will never put anybody on a YouTube that don't want to be on there. I won't pressure them. I'll tell them ahead of time I'm going to do a video, and if they want to be in it, they can. If they don't, they don't. And this way they can reach out to a family member, let them know, hey, I'm still alive, you know, or I'd like to see you. Can I come home? You know, there is people of all walks of life that are living on the streets. And, you know, I know some of them are drug addicts and some of them are drunks and some of them are just mental. But you know what? They all have their story. I don't judge them. I'm not putting them down because they're somebody's child. They're a child of God. And I want them to at least know that they're loved, that somebody cared about them, that they're hungry and they've been fed. I'm the type of person, if I go out to eat and I don't eat, well, I've had the gastro. A lot of you know that. I've had the gastro, so I don't eat a lot. So I take over half my food home. And sometimes, you know, if I see somebody before I get home that's hungry, I say, excuse me, ma'am, sir, are you hungry? I said, I have my other half of my food. Unfortunately, I don't have any extra forks or something. Now I got forks in the car, you know. And then a couple times I have forks that were dirty. I just washed them off, you know. I have sanitized wipes and stuff. And I tell them, I said, this is all I have, you know. And they're grateful. They don't care, you know. So the next time you go to a restaurant and you don't eat all your food, get it to go. Don't just leave it behind. And if you see somebody, hand it to them. They're grateful. They really are grateful, okay? Some may don't act it, but they are. Sometimes you may feed them the only meal they're going to get that day, okay? Remember that. You know, and I'm the type of person, I don't go to Starbucks. I make my own. That's my kids, Starbucks. I tell people, if you can afford to skip Starbucks for one day, you know, or you have a coupon, buy one, get one free for Carl's or Del Taco or whatever, and you're going to buy just the one anyway, get the other one free and hand it to somebody. You know, I don't tell people to hand people money because that's different. But if you're going to get something free anyway and you're going to buy the thing, hand it to somebody. Show appreciation. Pay it forward. Because you're only one, no, I say you're 4 to 5 paychecks away of being in the position they are. You don't know their position if they lost their house due to a fire, a divorce, you know. We don't know their situation. We don't, okay? We don't know if they got laid off because of COVID, you know. We're, by the grace of God, our rent's paid up till August 1st now. I'm 3 months ahead. Our bills are 3 months ahead, okay? We didn't go, oh, COVID, I can't pay rent. We got it. If we have to do without to make sure our bills are done, that's what we do. That's just me, my story. You know what I mean? I'm not one of these people that say, oh, I can't pay my rent, and at the end I have to pay this big bill. No. We paid our rent. We took care of the necessities. And our budget isn't that much. Just to let you know, sweethearts, our budget ain't that much, and we're still able to go out and help our people, you know, because that's what God has placed in my heart. I can't tell you what God places in yours. And if you don't believe in God, that's okay. Believe in a doorknob, but that's what you take. I don't hate you. I don't discriminate. You know, I just ask people don't talk down about my God, and I don't talk down about who you believe in, you know. And that's okay. We're all born individual. And I was told this a long time ago, and I kind of adopted the situation. If you had 100 rooms, and your higher power, whatever you want to call it, mine is God, okay, tells you behind one of those doors is you're going to find true salvation. Well, I'm at 24 because that's my lucky number, okay? My husband's at 10. Somebody else is at 14, whatever. What makes you think when we don't open that door, we're reunited? It's whatever door makes you feel comfortable, you know? Whatever door makes you feel comfortable. That's what I believe religion is. It's what lives within you, you know? I'm watching my time on it because I don't want to go over the time. But so soon, real soon, I'm going to be doing a lot more videos. I don't feel like doing scratchers anymore. I mean, they're cute and fun once in a while, but dumb. boring. Watching somebody else win or not win, you know. It's okay, but it's not okay. I want to do stuff about crafts, showing you how to have fun with your kids, seniors, exercising, shopping. I'm going to do some shout outs real quick to some of my YouTube people that I follow. Okay. I don't know how to tag them on this yet, so sorry. I love Treasure Hunting with Jeebus. Amber and Jeebus, Steven. And Mama Jeebus and Baby Jeebus is Brandon. Love them. So love them. Find them, follow them, subscribe. And then there's people that I found out through them, like Pirate Auction, Little Mamas, Locker Nuts, Storage, Stalkers, a whole bunch of them. Great. And then What the Hales. And then there's Steve and Stephanie Resale Killer. They have 2 channels. I can't think of the other one. Love them. Got to meet them in person. They do dumpster diving. They do pallets. They're just great. They're just great people. And then when I saw them, I was like starstruck. And I don't get starstruck. And I used to work at Knott's. I've met a lot of movie stars, you know, in my time. And rock stars. But there was just somebody, it took me a year and a half to finally meet them because I knew where they went, because they're in the neighboring city, and it was just really cool. And then, Erica, one cute couponer. Yeah. And then there's Oh My Gosh. I like Oh My Gosh too. Then there's Super Unsexy, and there is, let's see, Christina Coupon. There's a couple other ones. I just can't think off the top of my head. So those are some people on YouTube that I find are very interesting. Couponing, I'm really good at it. And that'll be a video coming up real soon. Also, I want to say hi to my husband, Patrick, who's going to start being my co-host, and my mom, and my mother-in-law, and then my children, and my grandchildren, my crumb snatchers. That's what I call crumb snatchers. My family and my friends. You know who you are. So I always say this before I end. What you do with your life is a gift to God. So be good to yourself. Because that's a gift back to God. Okay? And, did I mess that up? No, I didn't. So be good to yourself and one another. You know? And to my crumb snatchers, my kids, hugs and kisses, loves and doves. It's something I've always said to them. You know, today is May 2nd, and this is the anniversary of my stepfather's death. So I will be doing a shout out to my mama, telling her he's being thought of. This is my sister's father. So Rebecca, you know, I got Dad in my heart. He was a great stepdad. He really was. And he's not suffering anymore. So anyway, folks, I'm almost at that 30-minute mark, so I'm going to tune out and have a great day. And like I said, if it's your first time watching it, thank you for choosing my channel. If you're a repeat offender, thank you for coming back. Please don't forget to hit that like button. I want to see if I can get to at least 100 subscribers before my birthday, June 24th. And all the May birthdays, I'm going to start doing that every month. All the May birthdays, happy birthday. My next video, I think I'll bake a cake and sing happy birthday. God bless. Peace out. Loving this hair. Bye.